Do you remember the monoliths back from 2020? There was the one that was found in Utah, and then one appeared in Romania, and then one showed up in California. A fourth one showed up in Las Vegas, and then after the Las Vegas one was the one in Great Britain. Those ones were the ones that got the most publicity, but there was another one found in New Mexico and in Canada, but there are even more than just these ones. And I know there was a YouTube group who said that they were the ones that built the monoliths and put them there. And then another group of artists came forward and said they were the ones who put the monoliths there. And it just seemed like everybody wanted to be responsible for the monoliths. And out of nowhere, the monoliths just vanished. It seems like there's hella people that stepped forward and said it was them and claimed responsibility, and multiple people had proof that they were the ones building them. I thought it was super weird when I was Googling it and trying to find any information, and it said 2016. Like, it was 2020 and then created in 2016. Any other information I tried to search for, it said that there was no answers. Like, something went wrong, something went wrong, something went wrong. So I'm like, what went wrong? Am I missing something, or is there something weird going on?
If you don't believe in monoliths, then let me tell you, I've seen people who've shared the pictures of monoliths online.
Did you know about this? There's a theory that Antarctica isn't a regular continent, but a giant ice wall that exists to prevent us from seeing the rest of the world's continents, as well as hiding other species away from us. Nobody has ever managed to reach the wall without freezing to death, and around 162 people have gone missing in the past attempting to find it.
So my question is, why we don't have evidence of ice walls? I mean, we should have something, right?
Charlie, that's not Earth, right?
Dude, that's completely flat. That's 100% flat,
That's
dude.
what I mean. That's what I'm saying. That can't be real, right? That's not.
We're looking at it, dude. The Earth is flat.
Charlie,
It's flat.
it can't actually be flat, right?
There's the glass dome, too, dude. Oh my god, dude.
Oh my. This can't be real.
I need to sit down.
This can't.
Pam, we need to take this to the grave. We cannot tell anybody. This changes literally this changes everything.
No, I know. We can never tell. We can never tell.
I might
anyone.
actually puke. Get back a little. I'm gonna puke. Stay back.
The Earth is flat, Charlie.
I know.
Oh, so it's supposed to be sarcasm, right? Because flat Earth with a firmament on top of it, that would be bonkers.
Then the ice starts to go from smooth to starting to break up here.
Like, where are we right now? What planet is this? Just take a photo picture. I like how that Earth is meeting the glacier. See that interesting shape?
Oh wow,
It's
yeah.
making-
Just mesmerized. I've never seen terrain like this.
It's so insane, isn't it? How? Because this is right at the edge of it. It's pools of water.
Ice, like cold. I don't even know what here.
Not like nothing you've ever seen.
Nothing like nothing.
It blows away anything we've seen so far.
Oh man, the ice below us is. That's like the Grand Canyon of ice.
Yep.
Just like blown away, looking up at the walls and the peaks next to us.
I mean, come on, you seriously think that this is ice wall? This is literally mountains. They're on top of mountains.
If you zoom in on like the moon at night,
Yeah.
it will show a clear image of the moon. Like, oh shit, it can zoom in and get every single detail, right? But it's all fake. So they did a test. And they took like a fake moon, just a white circle. They took a white circle out of paper, put it in their house, turned off all the lights, pretended it was the moon, and zoomed in, and it created the moon. It literally created all the details of the moon, fam. It was fake.
Maybe it thought it was, and then like they have like a general assumption of the moon, like they have it already generated, and then so if anything resembles the moon, it'll think it's the moon, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So they're lying to us, bro. Look at this. Look at this.
So it's just one generated picture.
Look, I don't know exactly what phones it does it with, but I know this one specifically, like that, the Samsung one. It's just a white circle. And then when they zoom in, look at this, look at this. See, it's just dark, zoom in, gets darker, and then boom, it shows it's the moon.
Oh, that's kind of cool though.
Well, I don't understand what's the big deal in it.
The Appalachian Mountains. If you even stay in those mountains, you would either hear knocks or whistles. And the whole thing is like, if you even knock or whistle back, like you'll allow that spirit to with you. So there's one guy, and he already has 20 million views on his video. I'll show you it after. But he went to the Appalachian Mountains for work. And he's just videoing with his friends, and he sees something crazy. I'm not even gonna. I'll just show you the video and let's see if you see it.
Yeah.
But it's trending right now. Hold on. 6 days ago, watch.
Famille, j'espère que vous allez bien, moi ça par la grâce de Dieu. Je suis comme ça en train d'aller à l'école. Mais je pense que le professeur ne va pas venir aujourd'hui. Donc je retourne à la maison.
You saw that face?
Yeah.
I mean, is this even real? Or was it just for views?
Do you know that eels are the only animals on the earth that we don't know where they came from?
I didn't know that.
Scientists have done like observations of them. All eels during a specific time in the year, no matter where they are, they will all travel to the Bermuda Triangle, and that's where they meet. It could be in Europe, it could be in the freshwater rivers of the United States. When it's time to mate, they will all go to the Bermuda Triangle, and it's hard for scientists to study them because it's too dangerous. So we really don't know where they came from, and like the males and females have no reproductive organs.
Yeah, I think I knew that.
So it's like, how do they reproduce? And like, I think they did a test where they put eels in a bucket or put them in a tank. And when it was time to mate, they will all swim in the direction of the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
You know, people have speculated, right? Because I remember we talked about before, people think octopuses could be aliens. People think that maybe eels are not from here. Like, say an asteroid came and hit the planet. There was like little bits of organisms that survived the crash and they were able to grow on Earth. And there was one meteor that crashed in the Bermuda Triangle, and it was said to have crashed 65 million years ago.
Yeah.
And that's when the dinosaurs was gone.
I have so many questions. Like how the eels came on Earth? Through a meteor? Or was it aliens or something else sent them using a pod to Earth? And how they know that it was 62 million years ago exact? And how come eels travel to Bermuda Triangle? This shit is getting deep, way deep. Okay, so eels have like these electric pulses, if I'm not wrong, and they don't mate, okay? So does that mean that the Bermuda Triangle have some sort of electromagnetic radiations? Damn me, this is getting so deep. Even my brain isn't braining.
You ever hear about the chopsticks theory?
No.
Do you know why, like, Asian people, we all use chopsticks? There's actually a whole reasoning for using chopsticks. Because chopsticks, when you use it as a child specifically, it teaches you discipline because you have to learn it. And what happens to your fingers? What happens to your fingers? It creates like a callus.
Okay.
Using it over and over and over. Imagine every single day. You'll eventually like make a callus. Check this out. The reason they invented chopsticks was because way back in warfare, the common way to invade a village was bow and arrow.
Yeah.
The goal was the head of the village. They told all of the villagers, like, use the chopsticks, use the chopsticks. This is actually training for y'all for bow and arrows. And supposedly they would be so good at doing this and created such a crazy callus that they would be able to pick out arrows in the air.
Okay, I was gonna say that, but I don't want to sound stupid.
Some Jackie Chan shit.
Mr. Han.
Wait, what?
The math ain't mathing on this one. We know the land masses are incorrect, but guess which continent is really the largest, and ask your why would they lie about that.
Let me show you something. This is the world map, and this is wrong. What if I told you that from here to here, it's 6,400 kilometers, but from here to here, which only looks like half the size, is 7,200. The continent of Africa has been shown smaller than it actually is. What if I told you that Greenland was only this size? Or Russia was this size? Or the US and Canada were much smaller? You know what? This is the real map. Look at Sweden, Finland, and Norway. They're much smaller now. Or Greenland is tiny. Maybe it wasn't practical, but it seems unfair towards Africa. Why haven't we been told this in school?
I mean, I'm not saying it's real. I'm not saying that at all. But what if it were true? That would be bonkers.
Dave Chappelle tried to warn us.
Do you know why Prince, the famous rock star that was a friend of mine, do you know why he called himself the artist when he came back? He calls himself the artist because that's what they call us in our contracts. Oh, these contracts are crazy. You should hear the terminology they say in these contracts. To use your name and likeness in perpetuity throughout the universe. Who the fuck could possibly know what that means? Nobody does. It's so complicated, in fact, that when you're a kid like me, you have to hire somebody to tell you what that means. And you sit down at a table and you do the contract game. And that's how I got with Comedy Central. I signed a contract. But I signed the contract the way that a 28-year-old expectant father that was broke signs a contract. I was desperate, I needed a way out, and it wasn't good money, and it wasn't good circumstances, but what else am I gonna do, I said. And all these white people sitting at that table told me, trust us, Dave, it's a good contract. And I looked around the table, and they all seemed to agree it was a good contract. But what if it was like that game of three-card Monte? What if they were all friends and I didn't know it?
Do you agree with Dave Chappelle? Could there be a darker side to these contracts?
I mean, we all know what goes on in Hollywood and those nasty, freaky contracts.
In the middle of the desert, and we look, and there's just like this staircase that goes to nowhere.
Nothing?
And like I see it, and
In the
Kim
middle
sees-
of the desert.
I see it, and Kim sees it, and we're both like, we get this really bad, weird feeling, and we're like, we need to go back and like find out what that is.
It's like an 8-mile city called Felicity and only a population of 7 or something like that.
This is in Arizona?
This is in Arizona.
And this really rich guy, he's a
Rothschild.
A Rothschild. He bought this town of Felicity and named it after his wife, Felicity.
Wait, is this real?
Who we think we ran into.
Can we make sure that this is real? They offer tours of this place.
Oh, we did a tour. It was
We did a tour.
horrifying.
Why?
They tried to get us into this. They put us in this pyramid.
And told us to make a wish.
They made us try to get. They tried to get us in the center of the pyramid, in the center of the thing. Put our foot in the middle, save this thing, and make a wish, and then sign a contract. And I was like, and we were like, I'm not doing that. And she was like, well, it's the only part of the tour you have to do.
And they go
to do the tour. And that's when we said we don't want to do the tour anymore. We're gonna leave. And she was pissed.
Okay, so this is true that there is an island and this rich guy bought it. That's true. And he named it after his wife. That's true as well. But him being a Rothschild, I don't know why they're making this up. And the contract? Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, the island is real.
So we know how we just think music is just music. Well, Zena Levy thinks different.
Music, we make music for a purpose. It's not just background music, or it's not just, you know, fluffy, light stuff.
It's not. This is not elevator satanic music.
It's ritualistic music. It is music that by even the act of listening to it, you are participating in a satanic ritual.
By listening to, so if I put this on and listen to it, I'm participating. But I'm just, you're a listener. I'm asking you, how does it make you feel?
It's very stirring. It's very emotionally charged. You can't listen to this music and say you don't feel something, because you do. I'm sure you would probably feel either hate or fear or rage or something.
Wow, that's interesting. So this music makes you feel a certain type of way? Wow, sounds like the side effect of listening to 440 Hertz music. Yeah, it would seem to make people anxiety and nervousness and aggressiveness go up. Then she said about listening to the music you're taking a part in the ritual? Very, very interesting. Now let's try an experiment. Go to your favorite song, go bar for bar, and see if you can attach one of these 7 deadly sins to a bar. It's gonna change your mind about music.
That's not all the music you're talking about. She's talking about specific type of music. It's kind of a ritual. You are not understanding her point. And yeah, she's true. Because there are certain frequencies and certain sounds which have different types of emotions.
You know that that app, the Angelica cat talking app?
Talking Angela.
Oh, Talking Angela.
Yeah.
Recently has actually turned into an app where they can spy on kids now.
No.
Yeah. It's the white cat with the blue eyes. If you ask her a question, it can answer anything, right? So recently it got taken over by a group of like really creepy people.
Yeah.
And if you're 18 or older and it sees that you're 18 or older, or you put in that information, nothing will happen to you. But everybody that experienced it that's 18 and under, it'll start asking questions like, what is your name?
Oh shit.
What are your parents' names? And where do you live?
Yo, what the fuck?
And there's pictures that have recently been floating online.
Yeah.
Where if you zoom into Angelica's eye,
Yeah.
you see a person.
What's a conspiracy theory that you 1,000% believe in?
So every year allergy season rolls around and more people are starting to learn about botanical sexism, which is basically that city planners, who are mostly male, decided that female trees are too messy. And so they planted overwhelmingly male trees that release pollen, but not enough female trees to absorb the pollen. So we have more pollen floating around in the air than ever, which leads to increased allergies. But what everyone somehow forgets to add is that the reason female trees are messy is because they produce fruit. And I high-key believe that botanical sexism is driven by capitalism and making sure that people who live in urban areas don't have access to fresh fruits and vegetables that aren't provided by corporations.
Whoa. That's some deep, interesting conspiracy.
I don't pay attention to the royal family, right? But like, I read the news. Read some big headlines on Twitter, and that means I see some comments, and there is an insane rabbit hole of people who have so many conspiracies about Kate Middleton. I need to talk about it. Not saying I believe it, but I gotta, like, I need to talk about what people are saying, because it's so wild. So what's her last public appearance? This is the last time we have ever seen her. Do you know how long ago it was? Christmas Day. That's like 3 months ago. Don't worry, the royal family was like, oh, she's undergoing planned abdominal surgery. Be hospitalized for 2 weeks. But this is where the conspiracies go insane, right? Because the royal family was so vague about her surgery, people are some people are like, she dead. There are like some signs as to why people are thinking that it's pretty serious. So today William said he wasn't attending like his godfather's funeral for an unrelated personal matter. And people on Twitter, they were pulling out all the stops, right? That William and Kate used to always like address letters together with this royal stamp with like the Kensington Palace crown. William's latest letter, he did not include Kate. He said it was from William, and he has not used that W stamp since he was unmarried. Some people are thinking coma. Others are saying divorce. Not only divorce, but like divorce because William, there's always been like rumors of an affair, that William is leaving her for his mistress, and they're just like quietly letting her dip out of the royal family. I don't know. This is wild. I want to be down this rabbit hole.
For all I know, the royal family is creepy as hell.
So check this out. P. Diddy on Biggie's car when the night Biggie got shot, they put a sticker on like the tire.
I seen that.
So it marked which one was Biggie's. And then that's when he got assassinated.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Watch this clip.
Puffy has been making money off of Biggie's name for longer than Biggie was alive. People keep forgetting he hadn't turned 25 yet. He was still 24 when he died. It's been over 25 years. Puffy has been making money on that boy's name longer than he lived. It supported all of Bad Boy. His catalog. Clearly, a Biggie Smalls verse.
Pretty much all of them died from either a heart attack, except for Kim. So check this out. Yo, so 3 of the guys died of a heart attack.
Diddy was featured in all of Biggie's songs, and he made a lot of money because of his name. And we all know who was behind Biggie's death as well.
This TikToker was arrested for extremely disturbing behavior, and the police were able to identify her through her TikTok videos. Meet Christina Ray Hernandez, one of the most vile women from Florida. Just last year in 2022, Christina was arrested for the possession of CP or CSAM. So on Christina's TikTok account, she would constantly post about her life, what was going on, updating her followers, and she would also post a lot about her nails, videos of her getting her nails done, doing them herself. This was her biggest flex in life, and thankfully she did film a lot of her nails because these nails would lead the police right to her front door. So police initially were led to Christina through the messaging app Kik. And it was while she was on this app when Christina was collecting, trading, and downloading CP images with other child predators on the internet. So when police actually tracked the IP address of the account that was sharing these CP images, they found Christina. And attached to the account, they found a bunch of images of Christina, some of them explicit, and images that showed off her nails. So after doing some digging, the investigators came across her TikTok page, found videos of her showing off her nails, and they were able to match the exact nails that she had on in the TikTok video to those that she had on her Kik profile. And that was the final straw. They swept in and arrested Christina. So the 13 videos that they found on Christina's Kik account were disturbing. And these videos depicted the abuse of children from the ages of 5 to 14 years old. And these videos were extremely graphic, and according to one detective, they gave him nightmares for months. So I don't know what ended up happening after her arrest. I couldn't find anything in the news about it. Hopefully there's going to be some jail and prison time here for Christina. But this once again goes to show that pedophiles aren't always men, and that sometimes they can be lurking on TikTok getting their nails done and doing horrific things in the shadows when nobody is supposedly watching.